I'm going to do tarot readings tonight after the sun goes down because it'll be cooler. And so, right now, I thought I would just touch base with you guys and let you guys know how we're going to do the tarot readings. Because I think, I know some people, for example, some of the bigger channels got helpers to set up, or obviously they do the tarot cards in the same place. So they don't have to keep moving cameras around. They just can keep the cameras stationary. But when it's this hot, when it's this, temperatures are this warm, and you do have to set gear up, it's really hard to keep up with videos, especially since I have other things going on in the background. But we'll do our best to do the readings. I also want to remind people, if you notice that some of your refrigerators may not be working as well as they should, I want to remind you to keep this in mind, because this is the truth. This is true. Unless your house is air conditioned, and unless your refrigerator is insulated, like there's no tomorrow, there's more than likeliness that it is not going to be able to be as cold as it should be. Okay? Now, you can wrap it like a water heater if you really wanted to, with a water heater blanket, if that's what your insulation blanket. If you really think it's a long-term thing, and this summer's been long-term for a lot of people, so you could try that if you want. Might look awful ugly, but you know, you do what you got to do, right? It makes sense. This doesn't seem to be a great deal. Last night we had a brownout because of all the air conditioners running. I don't know if it was the building specific, or if it was the town specific, or the region specific. I don't know. Okay, it just knows that the air conditioner, the refrigerator, was having an extremely hard time turning over. And I think it was because the voltage had dropped so low that the compressor couldn't get enough to start. Now, I do know that compressors like that one have a capacitor, and I wonder if, maybe the capacitor might be finally going south. It's an electrolytic, non-polarized, used anywhere from 5 to 20 microfarads. So I don't know. The refrigerator, as I said, is at least 40 years old. It definitely looks like something from the maybe early mid 1970s. Not exactly. It is surprising it's still running after all these years, but it's, because it is in an appliance years as a senior citizen, it's gonna need a little bit of TLC. Maybe my landlord could have an HVAC person look at it, or a refrigerator specialist. Look at it and see what it needs, if it needs anything besides a good cleaning, which it probably does. I know it needs cleaning. I definitely know it needs cleaning. Now, The other thing is, with temperatures late today, high of 35 degrees Celsius, this is not going to be the time to be sitting out here doing tarot cards in the daytime. Like I said, we're going to do our tarot at night when it gets dark. Because the fact is, by 10 o'clock tonight, the sun will have gone down. So things are going to cool down a lot. We're going to see about an 8 degrees Celsius temperature drop, or about 16 degree Fahrenheit temperature drop. That's going to be good, because the fact of the matter is when you're going, it gets this hot, it really, really makes you sick. 36 is 2 degrees lower than your body temperature. In Fahrenheit, it's 98.6 or 37 degrees Celsius. I don't need to tell you that because your core temperature is only 2 degrees Celsius warmer than the air outside, your organs are going to start to really struggle under the high heat. Okay? So we have to be careful of that. And also, you might be asking and I will do a tarot reading on this tonight I will, is what's autumn going to be like? Well, it depends which region of the world you're in. What's autumn going to be like in the Northeast? Well, I'm going to make some educated calculations based on experience and tell you that I think autumn in the Northeast is going to start out very warm. I don't think it's going to go right to freezing right away. I think we're probably going to have a very good, warmish beginning of autumn. And then maybe near the end of autumn, say around October, we'll start to see temperatures drop a bit. How much is a bit? Well, based on early projections or early guesses, it's key guesses based on experience, I would say maybe we see temperatures close to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 14 degrees Celsius, to about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, or 21 degrees Celsius by the end of end of October in the daytime. As far as winter goes, well, I think the trend will slowly continue with the temperatures dropping into the much colder seasonal January, February range, which is midwinter, will be the coldest. I definitely don't see being any record breakers as far as temperatures. As far as precipitation, however, given the trends analysis, I'm talking about the Northeast specifically. If you're in the West Coast or in the Midwest, your situation is going to be different. But in the Northeast, I don't see a ton of snow or cold. I do see it's going to be some snow, but I don't think it's going to be a ton of it. It's just going to be cooler. But right now, we need the rain, and the rain is important to refill the aquifers and the reservoirs like Lake Mead. If you don't get the rain, you're not going to be able to generate electricity, right? That's a fact. So clearly, for that reason, we need to work on getting the temperatures down, and at the same time, that's going to bring the dew point's going to go up, because the relative humidity is going to, actually the dew point also will go down, but the relative humidity, which is still high, will actually result in supersaturation of the clouds and will begin the process of precipitation from the clouds to come out as rain. We're starting to see this when the cold fronts from Canada already incursioning into the upper United States, that the storm fronts that are generating from the slightly to moderately cooler air is already causing the dew points to drop enough that the rain is precipitating out. It's precipitation. Unfortunately, depending on how much of a temperature slam you get, you're going to see unstable things like thunderstorms and excessive rain flowing, what they call rivers from the sky. If it's a real significant temperature change, the more steep the gradient, the more steep the change, the more violent the weather gets. That's just a fact of what's going to happen. If it's like a 2 or 3 degrees Celsius change, the weather will probably rain, maybe some thunder, some lightning, but not much more than that. But if you get a significant temperature shift, I mean, we're talking about like 10 degrees Celsius change, it's going to be much more violent. Okay, it's just the way it is, the way it works. Okay, so I'm going to say that my hunch is for the Northeast is that you're going to see in late August more normalized temperature. I'm saying late autumn, not August. Although I will talk about August too right now, but let's talk about by autumn. I think you're going to see more of a normalized weather pattern, which is appropriate for New England. Now, since I kept saying August, let's talk about the month of August, shall we? The month of August is going to be a month is usually considered one of the hottest months of the year. And unfortunately enough, I don't see any immediate cooling trend for that. So this is not going to be a cold month in August. It's still going to be a hot one. In fact, it's going to be warm enough that the Independent Service Operator ISO New England already has this in orange. Well, I got to probably put this in red. Because the fact of the matter is the amount of people that are running the air conditioners, especially by early August, is going to be very high. By the time we get to the end of August, while the temperatures may come down a bit, it's still going to feel hot and sticky. And air conditioning is still going to be a thing. And it's going to seriously impact not only the power grid, but your own utility bill. Okay, that's just the reality of it. It's not going to change. The weather that's the way it's going to be. So I would definitely say, if you're looking for a break in August, you're not likely to see one. You may see one in mid-September on the 22nd when we enter into fall. That's when you're going to start to see the temperatures will start to change towards the autumn environment. Okay. Autumn environment is usually around Mabon, which is usually around the 20th, 22nd. I can verify it later if you really want to know. But you can look it up on the Wiki Wheel of the Year for this here. But the point is temperatures will finally normalize for things closer to normal by the end of October. When we enter into before we enter into Yule. So the Yule, of course, as I said, is still going to be a little warm, but it's not going to be too warm. And then we'll be seeing more likely some snow, maybe a lot of rain, which would be nice to see more rain. Anyway, we need the rain to refill the aquifers and to make sure that our hydroelectric plants will have enough water to generate electricity. Okay, that's a fact. You need that. And that's it, pretty much for the weather. Tarot card readings have been doing good. And I want to add some more tarot card decks to these decks. Because I only have 3. I only have the Fenestra deck, which is my main deck, which is a pretty beat up looking package. The Angel Tarot deck, which is the little deck here. It's got pictures of angels. It doesn't really explain all the detail what the angels are doing, but fortunately enough, it lines up with the other tarot decks as far as the suits to go, the cups, the wands, the cups, the wands, the pentacles, and cups, wands, swords. Swords. Okay, swords. So it lines up with that in the sense that it has the same suits. So it's easy enough for me to look it up in my little tarot book if I need to look them up. And of course we have this. We've been using this one for a while too. So I want to get some more tarot oracle cards to help us get a better closure on what's going on with readings, because I think that would be great. If we can go ahead and pull up more readings, more detail, and finding out what's going on would be fantastic. To see how that goes. So, I'm going to add some more decks to my set. Eventually, I'm going to try to get another few oracle decks, and if I have to just look at see what's out there. I want to do definitely the romance ones. I definitely want to do the finance ones. Those are probably the ones that most people are interested in: is money and relationships. So that's what I'm going to focus on. Try to focus on those things and grow the channel by covering those. But also the general readings too, because also your emotions are of course key. I don't think there's any deck specifically on emotional energy, but I'll just say this much. We're going to try to expand the readings, and we're going to try to grow the channel. And that's what we're going to do. Okay? So for now, I just wanted to explain generally what's going on. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about one more thing before I forget. Even though I have an appointment with a plastic surgeon for a consultation and to get an estimate, it does not necessarily mean that I said I do and signed it on the dotted line. Okay? Let's make sure you understand that. I want to know. Okay? They say, ask questions with boldness. If you don't know the answers, then ask the questions. That's what I'm going to do. I want to know the answer. And if some people find that a little bit unsettling, I'm sorry, but that is what I have to do. Because I really want to know. And that's it for right now. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Talk to you later. This is like a 16-inch grinder. Hope you're hungry because you're going to be eating a lot of it. No. I don't need them. Why would I want to have to put money
Well,
into
I know you don't need them. Well, because you might want big whoppers.
These are the real deal, baby. These are real.
But you wouldn't want, you've seen Rosie. I mean, they're massive.
I know. I know. But then again, we also see, like, other people that got those things. And what happens is after you get to be a certain age, everything sags. And of course, we have the tools of trade, the fame, the calendar, the clapper. Let's call the spirits back real quick.
Gauntlet 1. Versus fight.
how we take care of those pests.
Ow! Oh, that's gonna hurt. Alright. And thank you very much for watching. Stay out of trouble, guys. I will see you tomorrow morning, normal time. Yep. Okay.